every year. And I'm fascinated to see this year, basically, government's trust is in the toilet, but companies are still number one. CEOs are still number one.
The big difference is that business is seen as both competent and ethical. 50 points higher than government on competence, 30 points higher on ethics. And it's to do with business doing well in the pandemic, also answering on ESG, and finally, more than 1,000 companies getting out of Russia.
Is that realistic, this very high idea? I mean, ethics isn't the first word that one thinks of about some companies.
Business is the most trusted institution in the world. It's the only one both competent and ethical. It is counted on to do things. That's the difference. It gets the job done. And specifically, by consumers and employees, they want CEOs to speak up on societal issues. There's been this trend in the last few months since Governor DeSantis and Disney for CEOs to say, oh, I can't do those societal issues. That's wrong. We need CEOs to step into the void left by dysfunctional government.
Right, but go back, say, 5 years, 7 years, when CEOs were talking up with transgender bathrooms and all those sort of issues. CEOs were, as we used to say on this very program, and you and I talked about it, the moral barometers. You say that's changed?
What's happened is that CEOs have gotten cautious because there's been such a pushback by certain political elements. But the smart CEO on sustainability, on wages and reskilling, also on geopolitics related to Russia, and finally on diversity and inclusion, you've got to stand up because these are the issues that business can change.
And arguably, these are the issues that employees will decide where to go.
2/3 of employees say, I'm only going to work for a company whose values are similar to mine.
Do you believe that that values are great until the paycheck gets bigger?
I fundamentally believe that this group of employees is committed to having its companies stand up and be counted. After George Floyd, after the Glasgow meeting, they're constantly pushing.
I heard something interesting about your company. Mm-hmm. You have an extremely generous long service leave policy, when people can take a decent rest and a decent sabbatical, which is extraordinary compared to what other companies do. Why do you do it?
I do it because I want people to stay for the long term, and they need to refresh themselves. I'm the only one who doesn't take a break.
Oh, this is a case of physician heal thyself.
Of course.
When we look at this question of societal issues, what do you do? And I've asked you this before, but on the controversial one, women's right to choose, where, frankly, reasonable people can disagree.
I think that companies should handle that with their employees. Talk to them, give them access to proper medical service, be sure that they are taken care of, that you also listen to what your employees have to say about voting rights, also about the idea on immigration. These are issues that the country, United States, has to deal with in the coming years, and employees want a voice.
If we look at this year's WEF and this year's Davos, there doesn't seem to be the same level of engagement at, say, leader level. I mean, people say there are 50 leaders and 60 CEOs, but it doesn't seem to have the oomph of previous years. Now, maybe I'm being previous because we are only on day one.
I think you're not correct. I think, for example, our client Standard & Poor's Global is here to push a single standard for ESG. There are 180 ways to measure ESG. That's absurd. We've got to unify behind that. We also have to make sure that business makes religion, gender, and race part of DEI. These are specific things that business can do.
But the more you add to those issues, the more difficult it becomes in the business area.
I don't agree, Richard. I actually think that business done properly is having a positive societal benefit, that the smart companies are, PayPal, changing how people, do their commerce. This is actually changing and enabling entrepreneurs.
Time to go to the board.
Absolutely.
Do you want a red, a blue, a green? Or we could get you a red if you really wanted.
No, I love blue because it's Edelman color. But it
seems to be everybody's color.
But the thing is, Richard, that
come over to the board. Yes.
I have to circle this because the number one concern I have.
Do it again. Make it a proper circle.
A proper circle.
Proper circle. There we go.
Is we have a record divide between the top 25% and the bottom 25% of income in terms of their attitudes towards institutions. And when you have that kind of gap, 23 points in the US, now 19 points in China, from 4 2 years ago, there's a fundamental problem, which is heat or eat. People have really been affected by inflation. And it's now personal issues that are affecting them. Also concerned about nuclear war. We've got to get people to a place of zen and optimism about the economy. Not a single democracy has over 35% belief that I'm going to be better off in the next 5 years with my family.
Okay, but if we've got ourselves into this position with high inflation, for whatever reason, we can discuss that till the cows come home, then dealing with that, central banker after central banker has said, inflation is a tax on the poor. And therefore, dealing with it, it comes first. Therefore, there will be a slowdown. Therefore, people will hurt.
There's no question there's going to be some slowdown. But if business is smart, they're going to do reskilling of workers so that they can get on to the next jobs. They're going to calm people down about their ability to get forward in society. If we actually train people for the future, community colleges, these sorts of things actually give us hope. That's the number one thing. If people feel that there's a huge sense of inequality in society, then they become angry. Then they sign off of the political system. Then the country becomes polarized.
Richard Edelman, good to see you, sir. As always, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, as we continue.